Hey, what is up, guys? Today I'm going to be reading you a bedtime story. So just sit back and relax. All right. I got to go back to the beginning. Today we're going to be reading The Small Mouse. Shh. Just rest. Once upon a time, there was a little mouse. He worked for the Mr. Cheddar business, a corporation run by the mafia of cheese, of course, in the underground of New York City. You see, they were in a fight, a war, you could even call it, with the rats. They would rip cheese away from each other. Parmesan, cheddar, mozzarella, Gouda, feta. That's all the cheese. They would use many different tactics, such as little pieces of shards of glass as knives. They would sick ants on each other. They controlled them with their minds. This is crazy, guys. And one day, this little mouse that went by the name of John Cook he decided, I don't know if I want to kill these rats anymore. Why don't we talk to them? Well, this made Mr. Cheddar, the mob boss, very angry. He said, "Son, when you grow up, you'll understand why what you're doing is the stupidest thing that you could ever do." But John Cook just couldn't understand. All he wanted to do was share cheese with every person that was in his life. With not even the people in his life. Just anyone. Whether it be rats, mice, humans, or llamas. I'll skip that page. That was a little gruesome. The rats started fighting amongst each other in the street. Rat number one, the grunt rat number one, said, "Hey, you took too much from your portion of this cheddar." Rat 2 says, "Nuh-uh. I had the exact amount. It was you who took too much." They started to beat each other endlessly, right in front of John. It was a brutal sight for this boy to behold, but all he could think about was how, if he was able to unite them, then maybe this conflict would be over. So John stepped in. He ran over and he said, "Stop." The two mice, stopped and looked at him. They said, "What do you want, mouse?" John said, "I just want everybody to get along. Why can't everybody just get along? The rats looked infuriated by this comment. But then their look softened a bit. They said, "You know what? You're right. Why don't we just get along?" John had a smile on his face and he said, "You know what? What if we shared the cheese with everyone?" They looked dumbfounded, bewildered. It is as if this concept had never crossed their mind. "Surely you jest, Sir Mice. This would be bad for both the rat community and the mouse community." But John held firm. He said, "I am starting a new regime where everybody can have cheese. Will you help me?" The two grunts said, "Well, we will, since you helped us from killing each other." That's a graphic image, which actually a lot of these illustrations in this book are quite graphic, so that's why I'm not showing any of them. I don't really... Just calm down. Shh. Relax. Close your eyes. Rest. All right. John and his friends went back to John's home, but the guard waiting outside immediately stopped him. Why, John Cook, you're with two rats. You cannot do that. Stop right there," said the bodyguard. John looked at him with confidence in his heart, in his mind, in his demeanor, and he said, "Bodyguard, if you do not move, all of your limbs will be torn apart." The bodyguard froze in fear and let them pass. They walked through the halls of the mouse mob and eventually got to Mr. Cheddar. Now, Mr. Cheddar was a incredibly amazing mouse. He was kind to all mice, but he was ruthless to the rats. He was always dressed head to toe with the nicest and finest clothes that any tailor could have ever made. John Cook said, "Mr. Cheddar, can I please have all of your cheese? I want to share it with everyone." "Oh my gosh." Mr. Cheddar smiled, and he pulled out a tiny gun and shot John Cook through the head. The two rat grunts looked terrified and tried to run away, but were shot down as well. as John Cook laid bleeding from his head, lifeless, he still had consciousness. He realized that he could see and feel everything, but he just couldn't move or speak. It was like he was in an eternal nightmare. He could feel them chopping up his limbs and throwing them in the dumpster. He could feel the bugs crawl around in his skin as he decomposed. And as he felt the last of his atoms be ripped apart after thousands of years, he finally saw an afterlife. It was full of cheese, and everyone was sharing their cheese. The end. All right. That's my story for you guys. Sleep tight. Sleep tight.